This week on Palm Beach TV.
This is not permitting. This is the first step in finding out what would a mooring field look like.
The town approves a feasibility study to determine whether a mooring field is the right fit for the community.
Currently, we're at all-time passenger highs, 8.6 million total passengers, 13 passenger airlines, more than 40 nonstop flights during high season.
Climbing to new heights, the director of airports for Palm Beach County presents the latest passenger and travel numbers.
To anyone that has to drive on our roadways, whether you're retired, visiting, or you're commuting for work. It's just a great relief.
And many drivers say getting around town has become much easier. We'll show you why. Those stories straight ahead.
The Palm Beach Civic Association brings you Palm Beach TV, the island's only newscast, sponsored by the Fortin Foundation of Florida. Now, the news.
Welcome to Palm Beach TV. I'm Sally Lewis. The town of Palm Beach is taking its first step toward the possibility of creating a mooring field in town waters by approving a feasibility study to explore the concept. In this Right News Follow the Story, we spoke one-on-one with town manager Kirk Bluen. Town leaders have unanimously signed off on a nearly $150,000 study to explore whether a managed mooring field is the right move for the Lake Worth Lagoon. The analysis from the firm Moffitt & Nickel will look at possible sites within the town's jurisdictional waters, as well as construction and operational costs, grant opportunities, and potential revenue. The move comes amid ongoing efforts in Palm Beach to address illegal anchoring and derelict boats, along with long-standing concerns about water quality and navigational safety.
I always worry about spending money on consultants, but I think that this is probably a necessary step to protect our waterway.
The discussion follows a previous Riviera Beach application for a mooring field near Palm Beach's north end. In June 2025, the Florida Department of Environmental Protection denied Riviera Beach's application, reversing an earlier DEP decision to grant the permit. The denial came amid strong opposition to the permit by the town of Palm Beach.
Potentially doing a mooring field is just another way for us to have a little more control over the intracoastal waterway where the town has municipal limits and enforcement authority.
The chairman of the Civic Association and the chair of its Intracoastal Lagoon Committee sent a letter in support of the study to the town on May 9th. The study is expected to take about 6 months. Once complete, the findings will be presented to both the council and the public for consideration. New numbers presented to the Town Council this week show continued growth at Palm Beach International Airport, with passenger traffic now well above pre-pandemic levels. The director of airports delivered her annual report, noting the airport has grown from about 7 million passengers annually pre-COVID to 8.6 million today and counting. Laura Beebe said JetBlue, Delta, and American Airlines are the largest carriers by market share. Current expansion work is also underway at Concourse B, which will add new passenger loading bridges, expanded seating areas, and additional restaurant space.
Next big project that's coming up that I think you will all be interested in is the rehabilitation of the primary runway. That project will be starting this year. The timing of when the project will start depends on when we receive a federal grant for the project.
That runway project is expected to begin this summer and will take place overnight for the initial phase. The primary runway will become 1432 during construction. From the airways to the roadways, where travel is a little easier.
And in case you haven't heard, some welcome news for drivers across the island. The roads around Mar-a-Lago have reopened and are expected to stay reopened throughout the summer.
South Ocean Boulevard, also known as A1A, was closed for more than 2 months due to heightened security around Mar-a-Lago. The Secret Service says there are no anticipated presidential visits to the area in the foreseeable future. With the road now open again, town leaders are also renewing calls to send another letter to the FAA requesting temporary flight restrictions, or TFRs, over Mar-a-Lago to be in effect only when the president is in residence. Starting in October 2025, airplanes were prohibited from flying within a 1 nautical mile radius around Mar-a-Lago, regardless of whether the president is in town or not, prompting the mayor to file a formal complaint with the FAA over noise and emergency response delays. And in November, the Civic Association wrote a letter to the FAA in support of the mayor's October request.
All of us, I believe, have been getting comments, considerations, complaints from our residents about this reasonably, and some of them have drawn a distinction or drawn a parallel between what's happened with the road and what ought to happen with the TFRs.
More than 3,500 complaints have been filed so far. Go to townofpalmbeach.com to find the latest information on the flight restrictions, what's being done on behalf of residents, and an online form to file a complaint with the FAA.
And that wraps up Palm Beach TV. Stay up to date with the island's only newscast at palmbeachcivic.org and through our social media. Until next time, thank you for watching.
Palm Beach TV is a production of the Palm Beach Civic Association. We thank our sponsor, the Fortin Foundation of Florida, and encourage you to let us know how we can further provide news coverage that best serves our members and residents.